Welcome to the Dalorrian Show. I'm Dalorrian. I'm in a band. Not really. Well, I used to be. We're called Jeff Epstein and the Hard R's. Anyway, what are we talking about? All right, so I'm here with you now. Now you're in. You have been. Now you're in with me. Now you are with me, and we're doing this together. This thing. And we'll just get into it. Where we have a lot of video games to talk about. There's some news to talk about. And then, and then this week I just did some like normal stuff, Like my oldest is in gymnastics. And, I've probably, I've never really talked about on the podcast about my oldest, but she was born with several heart defects. And that was difficult, let me say, because, and we don't have to go into the whole thing. It's a, like, let me just say this. It's a whole thing. Okay. And as a parent, and if you're a parent and you ever have a situation where you realize that your child's well-being is out of your control, that is very difficult. And what you have to realize as a parent is that ultimately your kid's well-being is out of your control. Whether you want to accept that at day one, or you want to accept that when you're on your deathbed, they live their own life and they have their own struggles, even as a little bitty baby. And so that was very difficult for me. But what am I saying here? She was born with several heart defects, and thank the Lord, they were all pretty much fixed. I mean, there may be we may have to do some procedures down the road. We've had one major procedure at birth, another procedure a year later, not as major. And then we probably will have another invasive, though not major, procedure in the future. If not multiple. In her life, she's probably going to have procedures. Modern medicine, we're in good shape with modern medicine. Sorry, I bumped the mic there. But, what does healthcare look like whenever she gets older? What does healthcare look like if I'm not working, if I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like there is like some fear there, right? Even if the percentages and success rates are good. Anywho, she's older now. And not a lot older, but she's older. And she's in gymnastics. And if you have a kid who has heart defects, which maybe you do, I don't know, probably not, but it's kind of rare. They're delayed, just straight up. If your baby comes out of the womb and then they lay in the bed on like fentanyl, okay, for like the first month of their life, which she wasn't on fentanyl that long, but you know what I'm saying? Like she was basically addicted to fentanyl early, struggled through that. Then, because they have to give her drugs, right? Then she's just recovering during those first like couple months where development is supposed to happen. Then there's like chest rest, so she couldn't really tummy time. Like there's delays, okay? And we've done PTOT, the whole thing, for several years. But she's delayed. So she's in gymnastics, and the kid loves it. She loves it, but she can't do a lot of things that her peers can do. So me, the OG here, ordered a bunch of gymnastics, like shit. So she's been to a couple sessions. This was like her third session. First one I've been to, and I was like, okay. And I watched her, just completely love it, but like not really go along with most of the other kids. And a lot of the kids just run around like being crazy. But she missed out on a lot of things, and that's okay. Like, we're not like, hey, we're not going to the Olympics here. We're not whatever. But it's like, now that I know what she's doing, I was like, oh, we can do this at home. We don't have to do it just once a week. We can like maybe do some of this at home, and it's like actually helpful. And then like when she sees it there, and she sees her little friends doing it. And then she's like, oh, I know what to do. So we got a balance beam, which there's really nothing to put together there. Then I got a hanging bar, which I put together yesterday. And we're probably not ready for a hanging bar. That's what I'm calling hanging bar, because she's just going to hang. Like, if she can just hang, we're going to be good. But she really can't hang. You know what I'm saying, dog. She can't hang, dog. But if we can get her to hang, that's like step one. I can never imagine a world where she's doing like loop-de-loops on that thing. You know what I mean? Which is severely out of our age range anyway. But still, like, I just have it. See if we can hang, right? Because they do that. They do a little hanging in her age group. And then a trampoline. A trampoline with some more, like another bar over it. It's enclosed. And then you can hang there as well if you want to. So it's like so these are some things that we can work on. And so what that means is, like, I've just been putting stuff together all week. And on top of that, getting rid of other stuff. Getting rid of other items that we don't need because we do have limited space, right? And it's like, now that I know this is what we need, we can kind of do our own thing, and then we can work on it a lot ourselves. And so, like, the thing that is just very easy, just to put a balance beam in like the kitchen, like a little floor, just like a little floor. It's just like, a few inches high, just a floor, just walk the plank, right? And she can't really do that by herself. And I'm just trying to get her to confidence of doing like one hand. She'll do two hands, and she'll do, two legs in front of the other, and it's totally fine. But she wants to hold two hands. So we got to get to one hand. And then ideally it would be like, the hips. If we could do the hips, maybe I can just hold her hips and she holds her own arms out. And she's pretty skittish about that. Anyway, what are you doing? What have you been? That's not a knock at you. Parenting. I also went to the doctor this week, and I'm 40, right? And you go to the doctor, and they just start putting their fingers in your butthole. That's not true. Well, I mean, yeah, that can happen. But my doctor, he's pretty chill, and my doctor, he's about 57. So I got him. Hopefully, he stays in good health. I have him. And he's a doctor that I like, and having a doctor is kind of like a bud almost. Like, it's very unheard of. So I feel very blessed to have like a doctor. I can go in there and be like, hey doc, here's the deal. Hey doc, here's the deal. Then he can send me out to specialist or whatever. But if there's like a pill that I want or something that I want, all he is like I can chat GPT and get a diagnosis and a solution. And like, that's pretty much the bulk of it that I need. How he's helpful is I can go to him and he can be like, I've seen real people for tons of years, and I can look at your leg and be like, that's eczema, versus like, that's not some kind of vein problem, because ChatGPT and Google, they don't really know. Even if you send them pictures, they're like, what is this? And that's just an example, by the way, not something that I'm really struggling with. But it's nice because you can be like, hey man, okay, here's a medicine, and I can just be like, I can call him out and be like, hey, is this just like, are you getting a kickback, or like, does this work? Is there side effects for people, et cetera, et cetera? So I had a funny like conversation with him though. I was like, hey doc, tell me about this Ozempic. And I'm not like, I wouldn't consider myself, like, you look at me, I look at you here. I wouldn't consider myself like super overweight, but I'm 6'1". I run about 230 to 235. I would love to get down to about 200. Now you're looking at my face and my upper body here. Probably, if you are looking, you may just be listening, and you might be like, dude, what are you talking about? You don't need to lose weight. And like, I'll say this, I carry it all in my butt. I'm just kidding, not my butt, but in my gut. I do have a gut on me. You can't see it. I have adipose tissue on the inside. My liver is fatty, I think, right? Of course, I think everybody's is. I think it's like, as an American, you have to have a fatty liver. Like, when they come over the border legally, it's one of the things on there. They ask you the question, you want to be an American? Here's the test. Do you have a fatty liver? And it's like, no, well then like, well, you can't live here because like that's kind of like we all have a fatty liver here. So you can't, you know, you gotta have fatty liver. So we only let in like the people with fatty livers. That's like part of it. Anyway, what I'm saying is you have a fat liver. You don't know it, but you do. Anyway, I'm talking to the doc, and I'm like, well, this is Ozempic. He's like, oh man, Ozempic, that's the old stuff. And he started going off about like the new thing, which I can't remember what he called it. I think it was like Mongiorno or something, but it was like a different version or something. And I was like, dude, does it work? He's like, bro. He's like, it's crazy how good it works. He's like, my people. He's like, one of them, like two of them, like they might have heartburn. But other than that, bro, he's like, you know, my fat people. He's like, man, it's crazy, dude. And he's like, he's like, he has plantar fasciitis or whatever. It's like a foot thing, right? Which I've had gout a couple times. And he's like, dude, my leg's bummed right now. He's like, man, I'm thinking about getting on it. And he's not super fat either, right? Now, when I say super fat, I mean like modern American standards. Now, me and him, okay, like in the 90s, like me and him in the 80s and 90s and 70s, we'd be super fat. Just so you know, right? In the 70s, me and him would be super fat. You see what I'm saying? So like I want to keep that lens as much as possible. I know that's not a modern standard, but I want to keep that lens that like, you know what? Maybe I need to think about weight loss. And I'm not, guys, I'm mostly joking with him here, but he went into it. And he's like, you know what? You're not really fat enough. And I said, bro, give me 3 months. Give me 3 months. And I can get there, dog. Dude, give me 3 months and I can get as fat as you want me to be so that you can give me Ozempic. Is this some sort of challenge, dude? Because I can do it. I can absolutely do it. This is Bush League, doc. Of course I kid. I'm not going to try to get fat. But no. But then he was like, you know what? 3 months, if you like, he's like 3 months. If you're not like maintaining or losing, like if you're not getting your goal weight, just come talk to me again. And so I think he would give it to me. It is expensive though. But you know, I don't think I'm not going to really do it. I'm not going to really do it. You know, I think if I get to the point where I start crashing out and I gain like 20 more pounds or something, then I might would do it. But I'm like 230, 235. I would love to be around 200. You know, I think I can probably lock in for a few months and probably get there. So we're going to try to lock in. Next week, I'll probably be crashing out on you, but we're going to try to lock in. And you can, you know, you can just turn on the YouTube and you'll be able to see the journey, you know, as it stands now. All right, we're going to take a little break and then we're going to get into some of the games that we've been playing. And I'm going to take my Ozempic shot. I'll be right back. All right, let's get into the game situation here. I'll say this, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit more, maybe in the news segment. But I did pre-order Crimson Desert. Just want to mention that because like I would say like the marketing they're doing for this game, the stuff that they're showing, like over the year, I've been looking at this game, and my reaction to this game every time I see it is like, there's no way they're going to be able to pull all of this off. There's too many systems. The quality is just, it can't be there. The bugs are going to be rampant. Like, there's no way they're going to be able to do this, right? And you know, like, as time has gone on, and the more I see of the game, the more I'm like, you know, maybe they can pull this off. And I think what it speaks to is more of my very low expectations of games. Like, I have such low expectations of open world games. And, you know, maybe they can pull it off. And so I'm not saying that I'm hyped, but, you know, the version of your boy Dalorrian here that pre-orders a game, I got the deluxe edition, you know, $80 on Steam. That is about as hype as we get, is to do a pre-order. And, you know, like, and again, I'm not just jonesing for it. I don't know if I Jones over any game now. I think I go to games now more out of curiosity than I do like, oh man, I gotta have it, man. You know, it's just that I don't know if it's that anymore, like it was in like my 20s. Now, I'm not gonna say that there's no game that's gonna be announced that I'm not just like, oh, I'm gonna lose it and I'm gonna get a tattoo. You know, like I'm gonna fucking go, you know, midnight line if there was a midnight line. You know, but I'll say this, like I'm considering taking off work to stream it. And like when I look at Crimson Desert, and I'll say this, if it delivers on what it says it can do, which is a very big if, seemingly more believable as time goes on, then it's a Game of the Year contender. It's a big Game of the Year contender. And I think that GTA wins. But you know, man, there's a world where GTA 6 does not win Game of the Year if it comes out. Not because of the quality of the game, but if it offends the wrong people. So I'm not going to say that like GTA 6 has got it in the bag like that. And it should probably, based on what we've seen of Red Dead 2, GTA 5. But if it comes in a little milquetoast, or if there's like a trans joke, you get the right people boycotting it, the GTA 6 may not even make it to the Game Awards. You know what other game didn't really make it to the Game Awards? We talked about this last week. Hogwarts Legacy. That should have won, probably. Game of the Year. That would have been, I guess, 2023. But you know, you didn't hear a peep out of it. And that's because people were offended. It really wasn't about the quality of the game. Now, I will say, like, playing Hogwarts Legacy, like, I'm streaming it, and, you know, I don't know if I'm not going to say, like, I'm going to do a full playthrough just yet. But I've been wanting to get back in on it for a while. And I played it when it came out, the year that it came out. And booting it up, I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna get this on sale on PC. So it came on sale on Steam, like $8. And I was like, okay, now I can mod it. Well, then I get the game. I start modding it within the game. So there's like a modding tool within the game. And I started doing that, and then it crashed on me. And it gives you this link. It's like, hey, your game crashed. Go to this link. And there's basically an article from, I guess, Portkey Games. It's like, hey, mods that are like structural mods, like, you know, your armor, your body, brooms, they probably don't work anymore because we updated the game recently. And I think they updated like in 2025. And they're like, just turn all that off and it'll work. And so I was like, So then I went to CurseForge. Or no, they use CurseForge like under the hood apparently to do like their in-game mod tool. But I got rid of all those mods, and I like redid the game files, the integrity files, to make sure the game works, and like, you know, we get like back to a baseline where it's not like jacked up. And then I go to I go get Vortex. I download Vortex, Nexus mod manager, basically. And I haven't really modded off of Nexus in a while, and Nexus has just gone bad. I mean, like, if I can just be real with you here for a second, if you don't pay for Nexus is just shit now, man. Just don't do it. But then it's still kind of like the best version, because then there's like XModDB, and that's just like malware, I think. And then there's another mod community that I read about like a year ago, and I just can't remember the name, but I've Googled and DuckDuckGo'd, and I'm trying to find it, and it's like I can't find it. And I see like based mods and like that's dumb. Like that's not it. And so I can't really find a good alternative. And if you made, somebody might reach out and be like, this is the alternative you're looking for. It's like, no, it's probably not. I mean, there was something like, I remember seeing it and I was like, this really is it. It was like a year ago. Not, who knows? Maybe it's shut down now. I don't know. I kind of feel like a boomer in that way. Anywho, I'm on Vortex. And so then I see like, you can get like a collection of mods. So, and this really wasn't a concept years ago when I was like modding other games in Skyrim. And like over the past few years, I haven't really played a lot of games on PC. I've played most of them on PlayStation and Xbox. And now I'm kind of going back to PC. There's several reasons for that, but we'll keep moving. But basically, like on the Nexus Mod Manager, you can download a collection, and what it does is it tosses you like a bunch of mods, and then will automatically like install them and turn them on. Well, not automatically. You have to like click through and do whatever. And so this mod that I saw, this collection, I had like 120 mods, and I was like, well, that's everything. So let's just throw that in. And brother, so not paying for it, you have to like click every link individually. If you pay, it'll just do like all the collections. It's like, well, I don't want to pay for this shit. Because it may not work. There's a chance it may not work. Well, after spending, a lot of time going through them, and then there's some that are like deleted now. So it's like some mods that were part of the collection are deleted. Some are like, this is outdated, blah, blah, blah. So I get like halfway through, and it's taking like, an hour and a half, maybe. And then I go to the Discord. There's a Discord for this. And I go to the Discord. I go to the Hogwarts Legacy channel of this Discord. And basically, it's like, it's pretty fresh of people in there. And they're like, hey, your collection doesn't work. And they're like, nah, it doesn't work anymore. They're like, nah. Yeah, nah, it don't work. Nah. And like, no, nobody's going to fix it. I mean, what incentive do they have to fix it? Like Hogwarts Legacy, they put the patch out that broke all of the mods, which they're not, they got their own incentives. But then these people that like worked on all these mods, they're like, And I'll say like, dude, the mod community that was like peak modding community is Skyrim. And I've never seen a community for modding like that since. Like Fallout 4 has pretty good still. But it may be that the engine is easier to mod on, for those Bethesda games, and like the community's better. Now Starfield, I don't think Starfield has a good modding community. But that has nothing to do with Starfield, I don't think. I think it has more to do with like as far as like how easy or hard it is to mod. I think it's that Bethesda said, we're going to monetize mods because it's like that's just the best way to ruin something. And so they've ruined mods for that. And then Starfield itself just didn't really hit. So there's not really like a lot of people out there that are like, oh, I'm so passionate about this. Let me build an entire, 40-hour DLC campaign. Like Skyrim, dude, Skyrim and Oblivion. I mean, God, people have spent years like trying to like mod those games, do extra campaigns and all that stuff. And then Bethesda's like, shit, they're making the game better than we are. In the future, let's just like let's make a creation mod thing and try to monetize it. And like, it's bad. I mean, it's bad, dude. Bethesda, dude. I mean, I just think they're on their last leg. I mean, they make money, sure, but like they've been purchased by Microsoft, and that's just the nail in the coffin. I think with Elder Scrolls 6, we'll see what happens. But I digress. I always digress when we talk about Bethesda, and so I apologize. But with Hogwarts Legacy, in the Discord, they're like, yeah, no, it's fucked. You can't. And so I was like, okay, let me get rid of all of this. So I burned all that. And then I looked around more, and I was like, maybe this would work, that would work. And then it was like, okay, these mods in your collection and these mods that are older will work, but you have to go get another tool on Steam and download this tool. And then you have to like find the IDs and the versions and then try to pull like from the Steam Depot, the old patch. And then you can do that. But then if you do that, like every time you launch Steam, it tries to update to the new patch. So that's kind of like, you have to worry about that. And I was like, you know what? Maybe we just stick to the in-game mod thing and we just do one mod at a time and go slow, and whatever happens, happens. And that's what I did. And so now it seems to be working. But I will say, like, that game dude, that game is poorly optimized, man. And you know, when you play a game on PC, you realize it more. Like playing Hogwarts Legacy, like on PlayStation, it was very like, you don't think about it because you're running. It's decently stable. I think I had the option of performance and quality. I'm always going to choose performance on console. If that's an option, give me the smooth 60 plus. I'm always going to choose 60 frame rates. There's just not enough difference in the fidelity for me to roll 20 to 30 frames. It's just not. I just don't like it. I just feel like there's always like a little bit of latency with it or something, and I don't want it. But streaming Hogwarts last night, I realized like I didn't do I should have, with the mods, everything worked. Like I only have like, 10, 15 mods now that I'm messing with, and they don't really change the game too much. Truly they don't. Like there's more major overhauls, and I just don't think it's worth the time. I think it's just too hard now. It's like modding has like gotten harder where it used to be easier. And that's what's crazy is like I feel like we've stepped back with the modding community. Like streaming is so much easier now than it used to be. Some things are so much easier, and modding is just harder to do based on what I used to do. Modding like a Bannerlord or Mountain Blade, Crusader King, Skyrim, Oblivion. These things were kind of fun, and they were like, it just kind of worked. Todd Howard. Anyway. So I got past the part that was crashing out on me. And I can't not be Slytherin, dude. Like I had talked to myself so much going into this, and I was like, I'm gonna be Gryffindor, I'm gonna be Gryffindor. We're gonna go Gryffindor. Because I like the common room. I've already played as a Slytherin. We're gonna do Gryffindor. We're gonna do it different this time. I couldn't do it, man. I get to the Sorting Hat, and I gotta be Slytherin. I can't do it. And I think I have like a character editor mod, and again, I have the mods, and I need to like figure out how to actually engage them better. Some of them I know like right off the rip, like they're working. But it's like, I think I have an editor where I can just change my house at any time, which makes me nervous that I'm going to break my game, and I probably need to do saves. But either way, man, it's like I got to go down to the snake hole, dude. I can't live up here with these freaking Abercrombie and Fitch, preppy, buttoned up, quarterback. Yeah, I can't do this bullshit, man. I can't. Let me go down the snake hole. Super humid cavern. Everybody's sad. Everybody's depressed. Like, that's where I need to be. Everybody's crashing out. Everybody's like, you know what? Diversity's horrible. You know what? I hate muggles. I'm the best at everything. Everything else sucks, not me. Like, that's where I need to be. These are the people I need to be around. Because it reminds me of home. It reminds me of my parents. It reminds me of how it's supposed to be. Where you're sad, but you hate everyone. Even yourself. But, if you work hard enough and get a tattoo, you can at least look cool doing it. And so what I find is that like I'm playing this game, and I was like, I was gonna be Gryffindor, and like I didn't even think about like what's my personality gonna be. I kind of forgot that you could even make choices to be nice or mean to people. I'm just being mean, bro. I'm just being mean. I'm just being a dick. And I think I'm just gonna lean into what the world expects of me as a Slytherin. I think I'm just gonna accept the fact that I'm coming in as a 5th year. I'm very powerful. I live in the snake hole with my friends who are a bunch of snake holes or snakes in the snake hole. You know, they're all assholes. And you know what? If I talk to a Gryffindor or a nerdy Ravenclaw or a hippie Hufflepuff, I'm just going to be like, you know what? I don't give a shit. Get out of my way. Just get out of my way. Give me my wand, give me my broom, give me a pack of smokes, and get out of my fucking way. I got places to be. And you are just in the way. And I think that is what Harry Potter is all about. Isn't it? That's the message I got with Harry Potter. And then, you know, and then too, like, I tried to do like the body mod. So you can like, there's a mod in here. So like, here's another thing about mods. All the mods for this game are made by girls. There's really there's not a lot of dude mods. Like, you go to Skyrim and every mod is like, make this girl hotter. And you go to Hogwarts Legacy and all the mods are like, make Sebastian hotter. And then there's one mod that's like, make the girls be more curvy, basically. And that's a little weird because everybody's like, you know, like 16 and under. Right? I mean, like, you're playing as like a 16-year-old. You know what I mean? So it's not really like a gooner game. But there is a world, there are sites, there are mod sites, and I've seen them. Like, you can goon this game up if you just want to. But I was like, okay, well, here's the body mod, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, turn it on. You know, it's like, and I thought they would like make the girls be normal looking. Because they're not, like, everybody's just super like androgynous. And just kind of like, just everybody's just the same shape and form in this game. The guys are kind of normal, and the girls are all kind of frumpy, you know? And I just feel like that's, maybe it is accurate. I don't know. There's nothing really accurate about this game. So it's so diverse. It's crazy. You got like Wakanda people. Your teacher's like a Saudi prince. Asian. You got an Asian guy's. There's an Asian guy's housekeeper. He's like, oh, me lord, me lord. Oh, me lord. And it's like, dude, if he was Asian in the 1800s, he'd be like, it's very rare that there'd be an Asian guy that'd be like, oh yes, I was raised British and I talk British and I look completely Asian. No, he'd be like, oh, where are the brooms? Oh, I cannot find the brooms. Oh, karate chop. You know, like that's more, and look, that's not 100% accurate, but you see what I'm saying. But he doesn't do that because that's offensive. His Asian culture is offensive. And I think that's weird because like the girl, so there's a black girl in there and she's in the charms class and her name's Natalie her name's Onasai Natasai or something like that. Natoi Natasai, something like that, dude. And she's from Uganda, I think. But she talks like a Ugandan girl, like a Wakanda girl, like, oh, I'm from Wakanda and I, you know, lions, I see lions out. Oh, well, oh, everything is great, you know, like whatever, right? Whatever they sound like. But you would think like, if the Asian guy's super British, like, shouldn't she be, oh, I'm from Wakanda, but I talk British too. And then you have the Arabian teacher guy. And it's kind of, then it's the same thing. It's like, why isn't he British? And he's like a fucking clown. I don't remember him being such a clown when I played this last time. He like stresses me the hell out because he's so stupid. But he's like, oh yeah, dude, I talk a little, he talks, not Indian, he talks a little Arabian. Like he sounds like, you remember Robin Williams in Aladdin at the beginning? They probably, like, if you go to Disney Plus, Robin Williams does this whole thing where he's like an Arabian like snake oil salesman or whatever. It's like a whole bit. They probably cut that shit. That's probably not. You probably can't Disney Plus that anymore. Let's just be real. He's like, oh, look, I have something for sale. And does like a little, fart noise in a box. And he's like, oh, you're a genie in a lamp. Oh, come on over here. I'll show you the lamp. It's Robin Williams, right? This guy's doing that same voice. But again, it begs the question, it's like, why is he, like, why don't we do the Asian voice, but we do the Saudi Arabian and the African voice? Like, what are we doing here? And then there's going to be like a bunch of gay and trans, and I'm sure I'll have a lot of fun things to say about that. But it's a little distracting. That's all I'll say. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, if everybody in the game was black, I'd be like, oh, well, that's the black Harry Potter game. Probably not for me as a white person, but you can go play it. It's like I saw a thing where like the next Joan of Arc lady is going to be a black lady. Now that could be totally fake. I mean, this is on the internet, right? This could be totally fake, but maybe it is. Maybe she will be black. Guess what? Not going to watch that for several reasons. One, Joan of Arc, not my thing. Because again, the only Joan of Arc I need is the Joan of Arc that was in Bill and Ted, right? Like that's how you have to, if you're going to get Joan of Arc in front of Dalorrian's eyes, you have to do it through a conduit. You have to do a conduit in which Joan of Arc shows up like through the means of time travel and like, whoa, dude, like you got to be in the whoa, dude movie. So, so if you just throw like, if you just like, this is a Joan of Arc movie and it's about a powerful woman, it's like, well, I mean, it's not for me. I'm a weak man. I'm not a powerful woman. I don't aspire to be a powerful woman. Therefore, I will not consume this entertainment, of which we have unlimited entertainment. Anywho, Hogwarts Legacy is still a beautiful game, though. And I'll say, like, I turned off the stream and I started, like, editing videos and all this kind of shit. And I realized that the game is so poorly optimized that it was making my microphone pop. And I was like, I didn't crash out, but I was like, of course. So if you go whack and you watch the second episode of my playthrough, you may hear a little bit of, it's not horrible, but you may hear a little mic popping, and it's all just hogging the CPU because I am hooked up digitally here, which the more I do this, the more I think maybe I should not be, or maybe I should wheel my second PC in here and just really become a sweatshop in this room. But I don't know, maybe I should just be mining Dogecoin and shut this whole shit down. You know what? We're gonna end the episode, or we're just gonna start. I'm just gonna start mining Dogecoin. This has all been a mistake. This has all been a mistake. We're going to mine coins now. Sorry. Bye, everyone. Kidding. But anyway, so it was poorly optimized. So I did take time to go through like a video of like, turn this shit off, turn this on, this off. And so now I was running like 30 to 50 FPS. And I just was like, you know what? We're not going to fix this live on stream. I'll hit it when I'm off stream. And then I was kind of awake. And so I decided let's just go ahead and fix it. So I did. We're now running at like 100 FPS ish. We're running from like 90 to 100 FPS. And I'm like, okay, I think next time we stream, hopefully no popping, but I might do a test. I might do like a recording test. And before I live stream and just kind of run around Hogsmeade and just see like, okay, are we crashing here? And that's not absolutely the simulation of live streaming, but it is what it is. But yeah, that game at its core, the core gameplay loop, the gear, the story, it's all perfectly fine. And I will say, like, going in again, it's not quite as shiny as it was when I first went in, but I think it's because like once you have like a good Harry Potter game, which it is, it's a very good Harry Potter game, then you kind of have it and you've done it, right? You've been there. And so, like rumors were, last year or whatever, they're going to make another Hogwarts Legacy, but it's going to be like an online game. It's like, okay, all right, which would be fine. That would be fine, I guess. I just don't know how that would work very well, but we'll see what they do, man. But I've kind of waited too to replay because I did love the game. I've kind of waited to replay it. Because I was like, they'll have DLC, right? Like this game did so well. Highest selling game that year. And I'm sure, like, I don't know what their sales are now, but I bet their sales are still very good years later. I mean, Harry Potter's just a huge IP. It's got to sell well. So I was like, they'll have DLC, right? You know, here's uh, Natalie Osai and, you know, the Buzzlebee or something like that. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and then you play that and you kill a bunch of poachers again, which I remember you do kill a bunch of poachers. Which you look at that and you might say that's so Gen Z of them. Like that's really kind of a millennial thing. Like, dude, if we were like killing poachers, that's been a thing for a long time. And the anti-poacher propaganda has been very strong throughout my whole lifetime. Which I just want to be clear. I'm not pro-poacher here, but I'm just saying they've been ringing that bell for a while. So it's, you know, I'm a little numb to it. It's like I'm a 15-year-old with magical powers. Let me go murder all these adult poachers around Hogwarts. You know, I'm not going to blink twice at that. All right, let's keep moving here. That's Hogwarts Legacy. I'm going to probably keep playing that as time goes on, and we'll have plenty more to talk about, I'm sure. But Overwatch. So, you know, just in the news, you know, like Overwatch has been in the news. We talked about it last week, and you know, it's just Overwatch now. They got rid of the Overwatch 2, which come on. I mean, it was never call you. If you're a live service, never go to 2. Warzone 2, mistake. Overwatch 2 was a mistake. Destiny 2 was a mistake. It should have just remained Destiny. It never works. Don't do it. And I know why they do it, because they're like, we can make more money if we just sell the same thing over again. Or call it 2, even though we do nothing, and then everybody will get in. And it's like, no, people are too smart. You could have done that maybe 15 years ago, and maybe it would have worked. I just don't think it pays off in the long run. I think it just degrades trust of your fan base. Anyway, so it's back to Overwatch, and it's not Overwatch 2 anymore. And, you know, fans of the stream are playing it. My buddy texts me about it. And anytime he texts me about playing a game, that gives me a signal that the game is doing well. It's kind of like a litmus test. And it's like, I know if he's doing well, like if he's playing it, then I know that, if he's playing it, then I know that it's popular. You know what I mean? So it turns out, yeah, like the numbers are up on Steam, which I haven't checked on that to see what they are like today, but they've been up. And I don't know how big of a wave this is going to be, you know, with everything that's going on, but I think it's going to be, I think it's going to do well for a little bit longer. And there's just not a lot of competition. There's just not a lot of competition to games like this. And you would say, well, dude, what about Marvel Rivals? And Marvel Rivals arguably is the main competition. But, you know, even Marvel Rivals has fallen off big time. And it's so weird that it's fallen off. Like, and I say fallen off big time. I mean, they probably still put up numbers, okay? But I'm just saying, like, everyone was losing their minds over Marvel Rivals for, like, a month. And now I think it's kind of falling off. And now they're going the full goon route. And so now anytime I see anything Marvel Rivals, it's not really like new game mode, new tournament, new anything. And you don't have to, because those games like don't really change a lot. And Marvel Rivals is probably not going to innovate, okay? Marvel Rivals is like, Overwatch is doing nothing. Let's just go copy and then do a good version of that. And then we'll blow up and then we'll goon it out. And then we'll goon it out for money. And then we don't really have to innovate. We'll just goon it out. And to me, that's the trajectory of that game. Overwatch, you love it or hate it, it is starting to goon a little, like the slightest of goon. But then it's going to start to goon, and then it's like, as it tries to goon, the community's going to lose their mind, and then they're going to go the other way. And then no one will have butts anymore. Everyone's just going to be Gumby. Everyone eventually, in Overwatch, there will probably be so much outrage, everyone will just be Gumby. Eventually, and then it'll fail, and then it's just going to go back and forth, right? Has nothing to do with like the gameplay or the game types or anything like that. Everyone just likes to argue over the sexuality of it, which is so sad, really. It's like, man, you remember Halo? We never really had this problem because everyone was just a super soldier in a helmet and armor, and had guns, and then you just choose the color. It's like you want to be green, brown, black, or pink, or blue or red. And it's like, I guess I'll be blue this time. Okay. That's about as far as it went, and we were all better for it. I remember I had a girlfriend when I was like 18, and she was a pink Spartan. And dude, it was like it was great. It was great. Make out a little, play a little Halo. It was great. There was none of this stuff. Anyway, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, but anyway, but I turned on Overwatch, so I installed it on my PlayStation Pro, and then I also put it on my PC because I was like, I might stream this, like not because like, oh, I'm riding the wave and I'm gonna get viewers. Like, no. I really, really, like, looking back on it, I really did love Overwatch when it came out, and I really did put up the numbers in Overwatch, man. Like, I really played it a lot. And so I know that the core game, I know that there's something there. And I've been back since, like since it's been out, and I played a little bit of Overwatch 2, and I was like, this is fine, but there's been other games, so it's like just hasn't held my attention. And Marvel Rivals, I'm not a fan of. I don't like the third person. I don't get down with that. I just don't, and I'm a Marvel guy, and I like Marvel just fine. But I just didn't like it. I didn't feel like it felt good to me. But Overwatch, despite all of the things around it, the stupid drama, like if you just turn off the internet and just play the game, you'll be fine. It feels so good to me. And I like the first person, and I feel like it works. Having said that, turning it on, I turned it on at the end of the stream over the weekend, and I just started going through the characters, and I was like, let's look at the characters, and because everybody's like, let's look at the characters, which one, and I was like, which ones look cool to me, and like which ones don't, Which again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, I think about, and this is another little tangent, I think about League of Legends. And you think about League of Legends, like, I remember playing League of Legends, and like at first I was like, who's kind of cool looking, and then you quickly realize like it ain't really about what they look like. It's really how they feel. And with Overwatch, dude, I don't really care what, like, I can judge a character not knowing any of their abilities or how they feel, and be like, this guy looks cool, and that's all that I did. Like, this one looks cool, this one looks stupid, or whatever. It's about how they feel, man. And the best character in the game, to me, is Lucio. And I don't think he's just the coolest looking guy. He doesn't look bad, but dude, golly, I love playing as Lucio, man. Oh man. And so like just talking about him, like I want to go play right now. I want to skate on those walls and hit with that ultimate shield and just annoy people. Like just not die, just never die, just annoy people, poke people, support the team. Man, that sounds so fun. Be a little bit faster than everybody. But dude, as I was going through the list, looking at like the characters now, there's so many new, dude, since I've played, which let's call it like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I mean, there's probably like 15 new people. And in a game like Overwatch, where, everybody has their own ultimate and their own abilities, it's very intimidating. Just the barrier of entry. And it ultimately wouldn't matter. I could just hit my head against it and just play. And then like every round I'd be like, oh, this person does this and that, but like, what does that mean? That means like, I can't just go in like I used to and know everybody and just play around. Now I have to like, truly, I really need to go through every character and do their little practice mode and really like, what's their ability? What's their ultimate? What do they do? Because if you don't know, you're never going to make good plays. And so now it's like having to know and remember 15 more people's moves to be relevant, like in a match, like if I play as nothing as Lucio, let's say, but I have to know when somebody turns that corner and they're about to start shooting at me, are they going to one-shot me? Are they going to teleport behind me? Are they going to stun me? Are they going to block me? Are they going to blind me? What are they going to do? Like, I have to know that. I need to know what they do. Otherwise, I'm gonna be very frustrated because I'm like, not because like then I'm gonna get hit by it. We're gonna lose the round, and I'm gonna be like, well, why did I lose the round? And then ultimately, I'm gonna go in the menus because I'm not gonna be talking to anybody. Be like, what do they do? And that would be annoying anyway, even if I played with someone and they said like, and I was like, hey man, what does she do? What does this character do? They'd be like, oh, this and that and this. We're trying to play and focus. That would be annoying because I'm gonna have to ask 15 times, and then I'm gonna forget like the first 5. So I'm gonna have just to even turn that game on, I'm gonna have to like practice 15 people. Truly, that's how I feel. Like now, you might say, "Nah, dude, just play," but no, 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 no. I'm sorry, no. I like no. I have to know what they do, and this is probably why I haven't been back to League of Legends because like I mean, it's been years since I played League of Legends, and now if I went in to play League of Legends, I'd probably just do like ARAM or something, which is just everybody's in one lane and like it's just a very quick game. It's just not knowing what people do. I mean, it's just that's the whole game. So I don't know what we're gonna do, man. I don't know. I'll probably turn it on and take it in stride. I'm like, of all the games until Crimson Desert comes out, if I were gonna like play something off stream, ooh, crap. If I was gonna play something off stream, handheld or whatever, just like a pickup game here and there, it might be Overwatch right now. Just while it's hot again, and Wuthering Waves, I'm playing that, but until they release characters that I want, I'm logging in daily and grinding my daily little thing, which takes like 10 minutes, and then I'm turning it off, because until they give me a character that I want to play as, I just don't know if there's anything else for me to do in that game. I can do story, but I don't know. I just don't think there's anything else for me to do. I just don't like how I don't like how the new character feels. So it's like I have to wait a month until the new character comes out, and then do I like how they feel? No, I can't just loot any character. I could grind out and level up characters that are not meta and are old, which are good ish, and waste a lot of time and like the in-game currency. But anyway, we're not gonna talk about Wuthering Waves. But for the game that I might just dick around with, like I can get 1 or 2 games in, Overwatch is sounding pretty appealing. Let's talk about WoW TBC. WoW Retail could also be a game where I can just get in and get out. But TBC, I'm a little cool on it, and I pay for my WoW subs like a year at a time, like a gentleman. Now some people pay monthly, and FOMO hits hard there, and a lot of people crash out on FOMO, and most of the people that come to the stream and they're in the community, they have a lot of that. And I am going slower with it, and I'm playing about once, maybe twice a week, and I'll play for like a couple hours. And so what is that? I can get a couple dungeons in. The thing that's really difficult with like TBC is that you can't really get 15 minutes in here or there. You can't get in 30 minutes here or there. You really need like an hour and a half at least on a play session of TBC. Now I could go quest, but with how the game is and how it works, it's like it's better to kind of quest later. And talked about this. I'm going off of a guide because like I've never played TBC, and I'm cool to explore a bit, and I will. But I kind of do want to be guided a bit. I don't have to like. I haven't followed it to a T. I'm not like going efficient and staying up 24 hours drinking Red Bull, and like getting like set world first 70 or whatever. Like I'm not doing that, right? But just being able to log on and be like, okay, what's the next thing that I need to do is very helpful in that game. And, I could just run around and do nothing. And there's been plenty of streams where I have done that. And WoW is really good about that. But with TBC, it is a little bit more focused on like the zones and like the raids and PvP and things like that. So I got level 61. So only 9 more levels left on my Warlock. then we'll probably play Paladin. But I'm not like going out of my way to be like, I gotta get in the dungeons, I gotta get in tonight, I gotta get it in. And I think that's okay because every game comes with a burnout cycle, especially MMOs. It just does. And a lot of the people, like a lot of streamers and stuff, you'll see like they're burned out, but this is their job. Like they continue to play games that like re-release and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that because you could argue TBC is probably like one of the better versions of WoW that exist, and why would you not go in? And I'm excited to play it and continue to play it. But this expansion is going to be out for like a year and 3 or 4 months, I think. So I'm not like just die. I'm not like I gotta get in. I mean, I only gotta go 10 levels, couple raids, couple zones, couple quest. I mean, like fly riding or epic riding. Like there's very clear objectives, and I feel like I have time to do them. So I don't really feel like I just gotta get in. I gotta get in. And two, like with WoW Classic era before this, I went so hard on it for like 6 months. This is kind of like this is me taking a breath in, and then we will go in hard again. But for me, I need that ebb and flow. Some people have just one game that they play, and I've always been envious of people like that. Some people in life only have one skill that they can do and that they're good at, and I've also been very envious of those people because I just have a lot of interest. And I don't know. I'm not gonna say I get like distracted easily, but I just I want to. Sometimes I want to play this. Sometimes I want to play that. Sometimes I want to work on this. Sometimes I want to work on that. And that's just who I'm 40. There's no more secrets about who I am. I'm very comfortable with who I am at this point, and I am that person where I will go in on something and be super into it, and then I'll cool off on it. Doesn't mean I hate it. Doesn't mean like I'm never going to play it again or I regret playing it or anything like that. It's just like it's just going to come in waves. We're going to take the waves. And right now we're in a Hogwarts Legacy wave. And it's not a strong wave, but that's kind of the wave we're in. But with TBC, it feels so good, and I really do love every second of it that I play. And what I'm doing right now is just like running blood furnaces, and I want to get that in, and I'm leveling up, and it's going to be easy to do, but it's really nice. It's kind of relaxing, It's like a relaxing experience. It's fun. I feel like I can kind of like let my hair down, so to speak, when I play it. So I would say of all the games that I am playing, it is probably the most warm bath feeling of a game. And for that, I love it. And, WoW Retail is midnight is going to launch like, first week of March. Crimson Desert comes out the 19th. Overwatch is kicking around. What are we going to do? I don't know. Stay tuned. We played a lot of games this week, so we're going to move on here. Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator. Let me say that again, in case you missed it. Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator. Friend of the stream, friend in real life, Big Hesse, purchased this game for me on Steam, and we streamed it on a Friday night, I believe it was. And, or it might have been Saturday. And he knows me. He and I and our little group will talk about stock market stuff and joke around meme stocks and things like that. And he knows what kind of games that I appreciate. And so he saw this game and he thought of me. So, what a sweet thing, that he would think of me and we would want to play this together, as absurd as it is. Now, this is made by, oh God, who makes it? I'm going to take a second just to. I should not have Googled that. Space Warlord Trading Simulator. Yeah, they do Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator as well. This one we did Baby. I'm sure that they're very similar. Strange Scaffold is who published this, and is a human-centric developer behind Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, an airport for aliens currently run by dogs, El Paso, elsewhere. A lot of these games, if you're like in the gaming community, you probably heard of these. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown, which is probably the most vanilla game they would ever make. But the other one that you've probably heard of is Click Holding. that's the one that really was kind of the most buzzworthy game that came out last year, and I never played it. But as time goes on, I think I need to. I actually think I do need to play this game. I think I do need to play Click Holding. Now, like I said, the wave of this where people stream it and do whatever is way gone. But for my community, I think everyone would appreciate it. So we may go and do that. But yeah, so they make silly games. But inside of this silly game is actually something really fun. And essentially what you're doing is you are a trader. And the graphics of this game are very old school, very 2D, retro looking. And the artwork is silly. There's like some 3D models, but it's all very silly. And in indie, it screams indie game so much. And essentially what you're doing is you're a trader, and like the campaigns, you have a story where it's like you have like 4 or 5 days to go in on these babies or these aliens who have a lifespan, and you're betting on how good or bad their life is going to be. And that's where everyone, like, so there's no stock market in this universe on like companies. It's like you bet on people's lives. Example being, and they're warlords. So sometimes a negative thing might be a good thing. Like, if you, I'm trying to think of an example that's silly. It's something like, you accidentally shoot your friend. Like that might actually be kind of a positive thing. That's not a huge positive thing. Like if you steal a diamond, like we had somebody, a baby or a human, well, not a human, alien. You call them babies, but they start off at year 1. They live to they can live up to hundreds of years old, but typically they go around 100 years. And it's just and the game is going, and it's going very quick. It's like 1, 2, 3, like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, and then you're just looking at a bar graph as it's going, like a live trading bar graph of money. And you have some indications of you can pay a cut to have some indications of what's the floor price of this person's life. How old are they going to be? Like, what's the age range? It doesn't tell you exactly, but it'll give you like a range. So it's like, I know they're going to make it over 80 years old. So that gives you a little bit more like, okay, if their floor price is $100 and they're going to live to 100 years old, then I know I can buy around like 100, and then maybe I sell, like if they start to have a good life, maybe I sell for like 500, 1,000, something like that. But you never know. Maybe they have a really good life. Some good things that I've seen is like, I stole a diamond, I became a general warlord. And then like there's things that can happen where they die. Like I remember someone dying, they like had their house broken into and then they died or whatever. Then eventually, so you can buy the stock and sell the stock as like their little lifetime goes. And each one of these takes like, each day that you do takes like 5 minutes, maybe tops 5 minutes. And so things can go really good for you as far as getting money on each baby you bet on or life you bet on, or it can go really bad for you. And you have you only have like 5-7 days of sessions to like, you either make a lot of money and you pay off your debt and survive or whatever, which the first character just wants to buy a boat. All the other characters are like, I gotta get out of prison, whatever. If you lose all your money, you can go to the loan shark once in the early campaigns. And if you go to them again, they will just kill you. Legally, they will just murder you. It's a legal thing. So yeah, and it's that's kind of it. And it's really fun, and it's funny. I don't know if a lot of people would just play this game by themselves and get like super into it. And like, I got a 3-star all of these. I mean, if it were on my phone, I think maybe I would be more likely to do it. I mean, I don't know if the tapping would translate well, but for what it is, it's so well done. And to sit around and like for the lulz, it was the perfect game. So I'm not going to tell you to go buy this game, but I would say you should go watch our YouTube of it. if you just want to join in on the fun. If there's other streams of it, you should go check it out. It's just dumb fun. In any of these games that we play, like we played Umo Masame, right, the horse girl game, and we'll probably play that again. You should in a game where everyone, or in a world where all the games, like people crash out over games so much, and over stupid stuff about the games like character design and how gooner is it, and what's the shape of this character's nose, and it's so exhausting. Like games like this remind you of like, oh, it's supposed to be fun. It can be dumb. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like, oh, WoW is my career. It doesn't have to be like FOMO. I gotta get to level 70. It doesn't have to be, well, what am I even doing? Well, I'm just wasting my time. You're wasting my time. I'm wasting my time. If Crimson Desert isn't the best game ever made, it's just a waste of my time. It's like, dude, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like that. I know it seems like it has to be like that because you're online and everybody else is seemingly being like that, but you got to question reality there. Real quick, we'll talk about Rock Band 4. I have been, dude. I talked about it briefly. I got my drum set up with my roll limitless and been playing little campaigns on there. And dude, I've been playing so much drums and I'm not good, but I've been playing on medium, and now I'm on hard. And I can't do so the way it works is like when you play a song, it'll tell you how many. The difficulty level is basically from. It's kind of hard to explain. It's circles, and how many circles filled in is how hard it is, and then you can get like devil signs. So let's just say it's like, just for ease here, it's a 1 to 7 rating, or if you're in tech, it's a 0 to 6 rating, whatever. Let's just call it 1 to 7. It's like a 1 to 7 rating. I can survive on hard like a 2 of 7, but when it gets to like 3 and above, I can't make it through a full song. My goal is to be able to do like a, like 4 or 5, and it's so fun. It's so fun, dude. Like, God, playing drums is so fun. And I'm not a drummer. I've never really been a drummer. I can carry a beat, but like I've never like played a show as a drummer or anything. I've never like done a band practice where I'm like the drummer. I've played along like like somebody's played a guitar like maybe once or twice, a few times. But I know enough, like just growing up in friends' basements and like doing music and like being around music in my early life so much and playing so many shows, you learn enough to be able to like sit down, do your foot, do your hands, you know what to do, right? You learn what to do just by being there through osmosis, even if you don't train or practice. But man, it's so freaking fun though, and it's like. When you play guitar, like when you play like Guitar Hero, Clone Hero, Rock Band, you play guitar, like it ain't accurate, bro. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like on a guitar, you got 6 strings, you got 5 fingers, 4 fingers really that you can use. I mean, some people use their thumb. 4 fingers you can use in your right hand, you pick and, finger pick or whatever, strum. And so when you're playing guitar, you're just smashing 5 buttons. And then when you sing on Rock Band, it's like it wants you to hit a certain frequency, but I don't know how accurate you have to be for, like, I guess if you sang on expert, you like the notes would have to be super accurate. But I don't really understand the translation of the vocals. Like it doesn't feel, when you do the vocals in Rock Band, like you're singing it, but you don't feel like, oh, I'm actually learning how to sing doing this. Like that's not really the feeling. But when you play drums, and drumming is just, you hit the thing at the right time. I have 3 cymbals, 4 drums, snare, 2 toms, and a floor drum. And this is an E kit, by the way. And then a kick pedal. And then I do have a hi-hat pedal, but it on Rock Band it serves as like just a double kick basically, which is fine. So any hi-hat, open and closing hi-hat work I would never learn or get used to at all doing this. And my e-kit's pretty terrible, I'll be honest. I probably should have forked out the money and got a higher quality one, but it is what it is. I didn't know how much I would be doing this. But I played a lot yesterday, man. I played a lot yesterday. It's kind of a workout too. And it's like I'm playing on hard and I'm like, I'm actually getting better at drums. It's such a crazy thing. I mean, I couldn't sit down and like play a song without rehearsing or anything. You know what I mean? Like someone's like, let's play My Hero by the Foo Fighters. I'd be like, nah, no, we can't do that. But like if you said, hey, keep a beat for me that's like more than just, the most basic beat of all time, like I might could do some fills here and there now and like keep a beat for a song. So it's so fun. I mean, it's just it translates better than any of the other instruments or whatever, even though all the other instruments and everything's really fun. So I'm having such a good time with it. Like, I think I'm going to keep playing it, Now, am I going to like go start playing drums for like a band or something? I don't know. Probably not. But it sure is fun, man. Sure is freaking fun. And I like that it's physical. A lot of games we play, not physical. I just sit here and talk to you. So it's nice to be able to move all of my limbs. You know what I mean? All right, let's take another break, and then we'll get into the news. All right, we're back after that break. The Dalorrian Show was brought to you by Raisin Bran. I don't know. Postmates. DoorDash. Dine and Dash. All right. All right. The news. And you know what? I don't get hyped about stuff, but I am excited that when we watch the Sony State of Play, they have these a couple times a year. They're typically full of garbage and not very exciting. And to be fair, there were actually a couple of good things that happened. One of those good things was a Metal Gear Solid collection that is coming to the PS5. And maybe others, but I know it's coming to the PS5. So Konami, makers of Metal Gear Solid, along with Kojima, who's been crashing out for years and making his baby games. I love Kojima. They're coming out with Metal Gear Solid 4, which has been only PS3 exclusive for damn near my lifetime. Not my lifetime, but I mean, come on. I mean, when did that come out? I mean, let's just see. I really don't know. It must have been 2010. 2008. So Metal Gear Solid 4 came out almost 20 years ago, which kind of makes me hurt a little. I can feel my knees cracking as I say that. And ever since it came out in 2008, we've had other consoles like PS4, PC, blah, 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 and no one's been able to play this game. I mean, I'm sure someone has got an emulator somewhere and has been playing this, but it's been basically locked to PS3 for, 20 years. I mean, like you know what I'm saying? So that packaged with Peace Walker, which is, I think that was a PSP game, and one I am wholly interested in. I mean, Peace Walker came to Xbox 360 as a remake back in the day. I never played it, but I want to play it, and I have almost played Peace Walker so many times, and I've kept holding out that they would re-release it on a future system. So for me, this is a 2-for-1 deal. And I played a little Metal Gear Solid 4 back in the day, but at that time when it came out, I didn't have the PS3 because I wasn't rich. I was poor. And I had an Xbox 360. Now I had a friend who had a PS3. friend of the show, Big Hesse, he had a PS3 and he had Metal Gear Solid 4. I think he did anyway. And I remember playing a little bit of it at his house, I think. And then the rest I just watched online later. I don't think I ever went back and played it. Of course, if you know anything about Metal Gear Solid 4, you know that it is notoriously famous for like not so much playing as it is cutscenes. Right? And I think Metal Gear Solid 5 kind of evened that out. But it is what it is. So, but I'm a fan of Metal Gear, as you probably know, a big fan of Metal Gear Solid. And no matter what we get of Metal Gear Solid in the future, if it's just remakes, sign me up. I don't think we'll ever get anything new. If we do get anything new, I assume it will be complete dog shit. I assume it will be like Metal Gear Survive. And it'll be like a bad mod. And it'll be like, whoa, can you believe how bad this is? But these old gems that were critically acclaimed in their time, like Snake Eater. So, you know, we got Snake Eater this year, and I played it. And, you know, the gameplay does not really hold up that well. But I played it, and I'm so happy that I did. Is it as good as I remember? No. But do I still love it for what it is? Like the world that it is and the characters and the craziness? Absolutely, I do. So I'm there for like the story, as crazy as it is, and just like the vibes, man. I'm there for the vibes. You know? I'm there for the vibes. I'm there for the boss. Anywho. So I am as happy as a wee lass because I will be playing Metal Gear Solid 4, most probably in its entirety. I'll probably stream the whole damn thing. And then the same for Peace Walker. And Peace Walker I'm a little more iffy on because I know it was like a mobile gun. Well, it was a mobile game, but it was like a handheld game. So there's not like cutscenes as much. I think it's more like, you know, screenshots, like artwork, like comic book, and then there's gameplay in between. But I think it is kind of like Metal Gear Solid 5, where you play as Big Boss. You know, Big Boss is my favorite. I like Big Boss better than I like Solid Snake. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. All right, the original Big Boss, the father of all the liquids and solids and soliduses and all that. I like the father. Okay, and you know he's not a bad guy. I mean, he maybe is. It doesn't matter what he is. Yeah, I love him, okay? I love him. And so you play as him and you choke people out and recruit them to your Cuban army or something, okay? So that sounds great to me. That sounds great to me. But it's not about the idea of it sounds great. Will it hold up? If it feels bad, then what am I going to do? I'll do my best is all I'll say. But people are kind of freaking out over this, not in the good way of like, I'm just so happy it exists. People are not happy because Metal Gear Solid 4 had a Metal Gear Online game. And they're like, we're not doing that. I mean, they're not doing it. It's 20 years later. They don't want to invest in servers for online, like an online mode. But there's the people out there like, we'll revive it. We love it. We're fans of it. We got to bring it back, dog. We're going to mod it in. We got to revive it. Metal Gear Online. We got to do it. It's like, all right, dude, do what you want to do. Now, Peace Walker, though, is going to include like some co-op and multiplayer, but I think it might be local and like Switch only or some shit. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. If you go into this and you buy this game and you're like, boy, I really want to play the multiplayer parts of this stuff, you may be disappointed. Okay? It's not really the thing, man. Guys, it's not the thing. Now, you may argue, well, if it's about game preservation and bringing it up to speed, if you want the actual representation of how it was, then you got to have the online modes. It's like, dude, nobody's going to play that shit. I mean, I don't want to say nobody, but I'm going to say very, very few will play that. And again, remember, I'm a big fan. And I'm like, I don't want to touch none of that multiplayer bullshit. So even among the big fans, of which how many big Metal Gear Solid fans are there? I don't know. I mean, there's probably like a lot of fans But how many like people would name it and claim it and be like, yo, I love this shit. I've thought about tattoos. Like, how many of those people? So then you take that pool of people and then you say, how many of y'all want to play Peace Walker online against each other? And it's like, I don't know, man. My knees hurt. They're going to be like, I don't know, man. I can't afford a house. They'll be like, I don't know, man. I'm going through a horrible divorce and I'm not going to play games for a couple of years. Maybe in 2 years, whenever I sort out my divorce and my unemployment, and I face the fact that at best I have 30 years left on this planet, and I'm back to a place where maybe I can play games where my hands don't hurt. Yeah, man, I'll jump online. So you see what I'm saying? Like, why would they even do it? Why would they do it? I don't think they should do it. And this is not one of those stupid internet things where you should get super mad about it, bro. Your Metal Gear is single player, man. Like, I know they shoved multiplayer stuff into the games. And you could say, well, Metal Gear Solid 5 has multiplayer. Okay. Yeah, they put way too much into that, though. That was a mistake. They should have just, and Kojima may be to blame. I would like to think that Kojima is not to blame. I would like to think that Konami forced Kojima to try to put a bunch of multiplayer bullshit in there. And he's like, listen, dog, we can go multiplayer, but I'll be damned if we're not going to get some goonery cutscenes with Quiet and tell my story how I want to tell it. And they're like, nah, dog, we need microtransactions. And he's like, I have an artistic vision. And then, around and around we go. Anyway, I'm just look, I'm happy when Metal Gear gets preserved and when there's ways for me to play Metal Gear Solid again, and these because again, even back in the day, I mean, like I was in my early 20s. I was broke as shit. Okay. I mean, I was eating 99-cent meals from the frozen section, having diarrhea every day because I was eating garbage. Which, I mean, is pretty common for most people, to be fair. So affording like a PS3 on top of a 360 wasn't like in the cards for me at the time. And then by the time I think I did have a PS3 eventually, maybe. I want to say that I did. I didn't play Metal Gear Solid 4 because it was like an old game by then. And I'd probably already seen everything I wanted to see of it. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older that I started appreciating it more, And I was like, and since then I've watched like the entire game online, like a YouTube playthrough. And you know who would do that? Only real fans would do that shit. All right, let's move on. Steam Deck. You remember Steam? You know how Steam is a thing? The Steam Deck it's out. They don't have them anymore. The store's closed. They're turning you away. It's over. You thought you could play Crimson Desert on your Steam Deck, verified Crimson Desert. You thought you were going to be able to play games, man, on your OLED Steam Deck. That's what you thought. You were like, I don't need a Steam Deck now. I'll just get one later when they're cheaper. Right? I mean, they're going to have it. They're coming out with a Steam machine. They're coming out with their own console. They're going to have it. I'll get it. It'll be fine. I don't need it now. Well, you're screwed. Okay? Yet again, the best time to buy was in a frantic, unresponsible panic. Everything in this stupid country you should have bought day one, Black Friday style, trampling children with zero self-control, zero respect for your money, zero respect for continuity of your character. You should have fucking got on Klarna and made $5 payments for 20 years for your Steam Deck, because now they're gone, baby. They're gone. And they're gone because AI. Because we need these stupid assholes who get on the fucking... All right, I gotta calm down. These stupid assholes who get on X and Blue Sky and Reddit, and they're not on Facebook yet because the boomers don't know computers. But, you know, the Facebook is scam city. But they got to get on TikTok and they got to be like, oh, I made a music video where Snape is like, he's in a band and he sings about how he wishes he was Harry's father. And it's fucking like, you know, a 10-minute AI song with 10 minutes of incoherently edited together 100 AI prompts of random Harry Potter characters. All right, that's one in. And then you have it, and then it's like, oh, look, Deep Seed. Oh, man, I just made a Spider-Man movie. Oh, this film is dead. It's not going to be who can make movies. It's going to be the creators. Look at my Spider-Man movie that I prompted together. It took me 39 credits. Wow, man. And then you have the other ones. The other one, the scammer's like, I'm a doctor. You should take this pill. Because turmeric is what you want to buy, this turmeric pill, because you're going to have ass cancer. And trust me, I'm an Asian doctor. And then it's AI, right? Or just in general, AI girls, which, I mean, let's just be real, is probably the bulk of it. Now, I don't see as much of that because, you know, you gotta play it straight a little bit when you're married and you have little kids. You gotta play it a little straight, all right, guys? I'm not out there on my bathroom counter spread eagle like a 20-year-old with 4 cell phones prompting all sorts of nefarious crap, okay? You know, we have a image to maintain here. We have different energies and dynamics. But there's a lot of dudes who out there be prompting, dog. And then don't even get me started on the ChatGPT therapist for all of us. And like, you know, and then so there it is, right? I mean, like the gold rush of AI. There's no RAM, dude. There's no RAM, man, because AI needs RAM. AI needs CPU, GPU, RAM, and you don't have RAM. Because we got to make videos about Snape playing the guitar. What are they going to do when he's Black Snape? Is he going to be doing turntables? Or what? You know, like is it gonna be a drum machine? Now, I'm not saying black people can't play guitars, okay? Black people have been playing guitars since the beginning of time. All right? They kind of started a lot of the guitar stuff. If you're younger, you won't know what I'm saying, but you can look up like blues guys, like Jimi Hendrix. He's not a blues guy, but you know what I'm saying. Just go to Google, or you can go to ChatGPT, be like black guitar players. And then you're going to get a bunch of them. Anyway, listen. There's no hardware, man. The Steam Deck OLED is out of stock. Maybe it'll come back on. I mean, you know, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, like, I've been worried about the Steam machine forever because I'm like, what we need as a consumer who buys a lot of bullcrap. As a consumer, I'm like, dude, you know what we need? The Steam machine needs to come in at like $400 and blow the shit out of the world. Like, if they could eat the cost for just a year and like get in everybody's houses, like Steam would turn this whole console thing on its freaking head. Now, probably not going to happen. It's probably going to come out and be like $1,000 and then no one's going to do it because they're going to be like, what's a Steam machine? And then because then if it's $1,000, like you immediately think as a consumer, you immediately think like, are they going to support this shit in like a year from now? Probably not. I don't think they're going to support this shit. I don't think I want to throw 1,000 in. PlayStation will support their thing. Xbox, I think, will support their thing. It's getting dicey. Maybe Xbox will switch. I know Switch is going to be a thing that's supported, but a Steam machine for 1,000? No, but 400. Okay, I can go in on 400. You give it to me for 400 and I can go in. Now, I'm not saying they're going to do that. And don't look at me and be like, there's no way it's going to be fucking 400, dude. You got to do this number and that number and carry the file. Dude, whatever. I don't care. Listen, I'm not going that deep in, okay? I'm not going that deep. I'm just talking about economics. But the LCD model of Steam Deck's gone. You can't buy that brand new. Now, you probably could bum it off somebody. Somebody, you know, all this shit's going to be used. But you know, the AI market, dude, it's crushing everything, you know, and it's true. It's like how I feel about buying my PC. I have like a 4080, I have 64 gigs of RAM, and I'm like, thank God I bought, like, I knew it was kind of expensive when I bought it, and I was kind of like, I didn't wince, but I was like, you know, this will be worth it because, you know, I'm going to use it, and I might as well get it because, you know, it'll be fine. I never dreamed that it would be like, oh, I should have bought that like a fucking house. Because like in my head, I'm like, I should have bought a house when I was like 5. I should have bought a house when I was 20. It's like, well, it would have been a shitty house. It doesn't matter. I should have bought as many houses as possible in the shittiest of conditions and just sat on them shittily. And then I would be a billion millionaire. Just buy it. It just doesn't matter. It's literally shit turn the gold to houses if you hold them long enough. So it's like, I should have bought a house. I should have bought a house earlier. I never dreamed with how throwaway chips are. Chips have been so throwaway, bro. Like RAM has been so throwaway for my lifetime. I never would have dreamed that like, oh, dude, I should have bought 2 PCs. I should have bought 2 PCs, and then I could have sold my other PC for like twice the price. I would have doubled my money. I never would have dreamed it. Never would have dreamed it. Because it's a nightmare. Because it's not a dream. It's a nightmare. And the older I get, the more I think to myself, what is the opposite that I would want to happen in the world? And then bet on that. Take your decisions, your money, your future, and say, what is the dumbest thing that could happen that is just like, it just basically sucks for everybody. Like no one really benefits. Like maybe like 1%, less than 1% of people maybe benefit. But what's something that could happen that would like be just, at the very least, a nuisance to everyone and a real pain to many? What could happen that way? And then take all your money and bet on that one. That's your advice. Anyway, the AI boom, dude. You know, I don't know if it's going to replace all of our jobs, but it's definitely messing up our games. It's definitely messing up gaming. You know, affordable hardware is just not what it used to be. Now, I say this like, you know, I need to check like PC prices, and I don't have a need for one, but I should probably take my own advice. But I should just go buy an extra box. I should just go buy an extra PC or something, and just hold it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Or like start mining something. Hell, maybe I should just start like spamming some AI videos. Maybe I just start an AI channel, and it's just boobs. It's just AI boobs, and just let it roll, baby. You'll get a Mac Mini, put in Claude, and text it, and be like, "Hey, put boobs on the internet. Where, when, why? Just wherever. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Isn't this illegal? It doesn't matter. Put them out, just boobs everywhere. Put a boobs out and make money doing it. I don't know, man. But yeah, so will this AI thing ever cool? I don't know. You know, like I think about like everything cools. NFTs cool, the green movement cool, the trans movement cool. These aren't all built the same, but with AI, I think it changes. I don't know. I assume the gold rush will cool, but then you look at it, it's like, I don't know if this is just the beginning. Maybe it won't. Maybe it just changes for the worse. But I think it cools like on infrastructure. Like, I don't know. Like, I remember the boom of video cards. Like video cards getting so expensive you can't find them anywhere. And that was because of like the Bitcoin and coins, cryptocurrency. The boom of cryptocurrency, and now you have the boom of AI. And it's like, what's the next boom, man? I don't know. But the boom of AI is a lot bigger than crypto in my mind, because like, I mean, a lot of countries and companies invest in Bitcoin. I don't know if they invest in like other coins, but with AI, like large deals, large infrastructure, large incentive to really push this thing forward. Every company just wants AI. They're like, what? They don't even know what it is. Like companies are like, what are you doing with your AI lately? What are you gonna do with AI, man? What are you gonna do for me with AI? And you could ask the company or the hiring manager or whatever, what is AI to you? And they'd be like, I don't know, ChatGPT, I guess. Well, all right, well, what do you want AI to do? Like, what do you want? How do you want me to plug this shit in, man? Like, okay, yeah, man, we can plug, yeah. I mean, the base story is like, they're asking you is like, hey, can you help us get rid of half of our people? Can you use AI to either A, make us sell more stuff around the clock, or can you help us automate stuff and get rid of half of our people? And like every company in America, all 22 million of them or whatever they are. I mean, I don't know, there's a number. All the companies in America are like, how can we use this to get rid of everybody and make more money? And what they don't know, or what they don't think, and what they can't think about, because you can't, like as a company, you can't think about like, well, if we all do it, then there's nobody else to sell to. Like I think they know that, but they're like, doesn't matter. We gotta do it now, and when it all ends, it'll all end, and the government will print more money anyway. It doesn't matter. We just need our 10 cents off the top, baby. All right. Anyway, Steam Decks, don't buy them because you can't. All right, Crimson Desert. I want to talk about this a little bit. Sorry, I crashed out a little bit. Pearl Abyss, man, they're kind of selling me, and I don't know. I pre-ordered. We talked about this right at the top, and you know it's just cosmetic, and they're saying like this is a premium single player game. There's no microtransactions. There's no monetization model. Hell, there aren't even skill points, man. There aren't even skill points, man. Like you don't like, well, there may be skill points, but like, I don't think you level up. I think they said that like, you don't level up. You find powers in the world and then that's it or something. And you know what, man? At this point, it's just interesting. And they're speaking the language that everybody on the internet loves. And all of the gamers, be he men or women or both, they all will agree with you. Just give me a single player game with no microtransactions and try not to rake me over the fucking coals. And you might be the game of the year. That's what happened with Baldur's Gate 3. That's what happened with Expedition 33. All these 3s. They should have called it Crimson Desert 3 and be like, what about 1 and 2? Be like, don't worry about that. They should have just called it 3 and that would increase their chances of winning Game of the Year. Anywho, so no microtransactions, those feels pretty freaking refreshing because every other game is like, we're going to do a live service model. we're going to make Marathon and sell you $40, and then you give us more dollars because we can buy our skins. And then Overwatch, we're Overwatch 1 now. We're not 2 anymore. Buy our skins. World of Warcraft, pay a sub and then buy our skins and buy our housing stuff now. Buy our housing currency and then buy this expansion and then buy gold from us. And then we need you to buy some more stuff from us, though. If you don't, you can buy this mount. We need you to buy this mount and this pet. We need you to donate money to Meals on Wheels and you get a dog pet. We need you to give us more money for this. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Hey, here's a game. It's a complete game. No, it's not. We need you. There's a store. Buy a sword. Buy the LeBron James skin for Yasuke or whatever his name is. Attack on Titan. Here's the Attack on Titan collab. Buy this. Warzone. Here, buy this Peter Griffin skin. We need you to buy this. $20. We're going to take it away from you in a year, but I need you to buy this. $40. $40. Peter Griffin. You can play as Brian the dog. Brian the dog and Butthead. We need you to buy this. Have you bought this? Hey, thanks for turning on the game and downloading 120 gigs of malware. Did you buy this yet? No, I know our game doesn't work. Did you buy it though? Hey, did you buy? I need you to buy this. So yeah, it's nice just them coming out and be like, hey man, you know what? We're not doing that. Just, it's the game. It's like a lot going on in the game. Maybe there's bugs, maybe whatever, but you just buy it once and we're charging $70 because we did a lot. And that's it, man. You know, even GTA 6, the savior of games, is going to come out eventually. And I mean, they may, you know, GTA 6 is probably going to be like, here's a $100 version, $120 version, $200, who knows what they're going to do. Where you get like, here's an extra car or something. And then when it gets to GTA Online, if there's a version of that, then it's going to be, don't you want a shark card for your weed shop that you could build in Florida? Here's a Floridian weed shop. You need shark card for it. Here's a shark card. So yeah, man, you know, like, and that's another reason why I was like, you know, pre-ordering games don't really matter anymore because they're not physical. I was texting with a buddy earlier and we were talking about like, hey man, I miss going to the store and getting it, you know? Like, you know, we would pre-order more to make sure you were going to get a copy of the game. And then you had to go there and it was kind of nice. Like going to the store, getting out, like, oh, I got my game, dude. Can't wait to get home, get it on. But now it's like, it's all digital. So it's like, you don't, like I'm pre-ordering so I don't forget you know what I mean? Like I'm pre-ordering, which is so stupid. I'm pre-ordering so that they send me an email and they say, hey, your game, you can download your game now. Like I'm doing it so I don't forget. Like that's like, I'm not doing it because I'm like, I gotta reserve my disc. But yeah, this game, if it delivers on 80% that they're selling, man, they're looking good. The internet's going to try to hate. The internet's always going to try to hate. They're not being overly gooner. They're being masculine at the same time. You don't have to play as like a diverse trans girl. It's looking good. If they just deliver halfway on like 80% of it, this will be a big game this year. And it seems like they've done the work. So, you know, we'll see. All right, next thing. We talked about Metal Gear. Solid Snake is coming to Rainbow Six Siege. And I always knew it would happen because with Rainbow Six, and let me explain that. With Rainbow Six, like any of these other online shooters, you know, Rainbow Six might be my favorite of all of them. And I'm not saying that it's like great because, well, you know, it's like anything. It ain't what it used to be. But Rainbow Six is typically like the one shooter I go back to and like we'll put up, you know, play really hard for like a month or two and then go away and come back, you know. But I've always known that there will be a time where they'll do something with Konami and they'll do like a Snake skin, right? Like a Metal Gear Solid skin. And I just assumed they would give it to like Ace or something, you know, like, Pulse is, he's got a bandana and, you know, here's the Solid Snake skin for Pulse and here's the boss skin with the white thing for, you know, the white onesie with the white boots and zip down her stomach with the scar. This is, you put this on Ash. Here's the skin. And I've always said to myself, I will buy that skin because again, I'm a Metal Gear Solid fan and I'm an idiot. I'm a hypocrite. But anyway, no, they're going all the way with it. Snake is a freaking character. And it's like the Splinter Cell guy whose name escapes me. And I played those games, but Sam Fisher. I think it's Sam Fisher. Sam Fisher turns out like he was just a character. And so now they're like, hey man, what if we didn't just put a skin in? What if Solid Snake was just on the roster? Which could be cool if he's good. Like I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna, like, when this comes out, I'm definitely gonna play this. I don't know how much I'll play it, but like I have to download it, boot it up, and just dick around with Snake and Rainbow. Like you're gonna be Solid Snake, first person Solid Snake with guns, bro. And I haven't looked and see what his abilities are, and I'm sure that they probably don't even have that yet. They'll do videos leading up to like Snake's ability is you go invisible and then you choke a guy out and you call Otacon and fucking knife him and throw him off a boat. I don't know what's gonna be, but it's definitely gonna be putting people to sleep though, right? Your gun's gonna be like a sleep tranquilizer or something. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be playing as Snake and just headshotting the shit out of some fools. But he is going to be an attacker. I mean, like, dude, there's like 70 operators now. And with Siege, we talk about Overwatch, where it's like, I don't know if I can get back in, man. With Siege, I feel like I've kept up enough to know what everybody does. Like, there might be two people that I don't know what it does, but then, like, the meta is always kind of the meta, and then, like, a lot of times it doesn't even matter. Because, like, at the end of the day, you just shoot people in the head. Like, everybody has a gun. And you can do your abilities with Siege, but really, if you don't do any abilities and you're just good at shooting, you'll be better than everyone. So it's like, that's something I've always liked about Siege. It's like, yeah, people have abilities, but who's got a good gun and can they shoot you in the head? Like that's the key to me. Now I mostly solo queue, or duo queue. I don't really play as team. Now if you have teams, it's like now, it gets a little bit more serious with that, but general playing, you don't really, you can do your abilities. Sometimes abilities get you in trouble. Focus on the gunplay if you can, which can be hard to do as an older guy. But anyway, man, I'm, this game, you love and hate it. You love and hate Siege and Ubisoft. You mostly hate them, but I gotta play. I gotta play it. I gotta figure it out. And if there's a thing where you can like buy an extra skin for Solid Snake or something, maybe I'd do that. I don't know. But like, I love Solid Snake enough. I just hope that he's good, and I hope his gun is good, because like the way that I don't care about that game anymore is like I'd probably just roll him every time, even if he sucks. I might just be like, whatever, dude. He's not meta, dude. Don't play him. We're gonna lose. Fuck, dude. I'm Snake, dog. I'm David Hayter Snake, dog. Kept you waiting, huh? And then Snake gets the idea of being Snake and going into Rainbow Siege and looking through a window and getting domed through the head, seeing blood. That's actually hilarious to me, in a way. You know what I mean? Because like the Snake characters are so untouchable. I mean, they're like in Smash Brothers and stuff. But I mean, like, that's a kid. Like just putting a bunch of bullets in Snake, man, is actually kind of funny to me. Like like if I could pay extra for when I die, that the screen like changes colors and it like makes a beat, Snake, like if it would like yell Snake, like if someone would yell like, no, God, no, Snake, every time I died, I would pay extra for that. You know what I mean? All right. Well, dude, this is a long episode. I hope you guys stuck with me. I ranted a lot. I crashed out a lot. But it's been great. As always, DalorrianTV@gmail.com if you want to reach out to me about anything and everything. Comments, corrections, YouTube comments, Spotify comments. And then always join the Discord. Come join the Discord. It's free, baby. Ain't nothing in life free no more. You can come hang out with us. See us talk about World of Warcraft and other stupid stuff. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll talk on
the next one. See you.